Hey, welcome everyone to our last Team Builders Global webinar for 2018. It's been a fantastic year. We've just missed a couple of webinars due to the convention at the beginning of the year, but we are really excited because we've left the best till last. We have Presidential Double Diamond. I keep forgetting.
No, just Presidential Diamond, not double yet. It'll happen.
Not double yet. Diamond. Deni Robinson from Spokane, Washington joining us. And then we have Bart, we've got Kim Hill, who's the Regional Sales Director of Australia, New Zealand. So we've got beautiful Kim Hill joining us, as well as a lot of other associates who managed to achieve the Reach for the Beach incentive in Vanuatu. So as per usual, we'll just go straight through the agenda so you can get an idea as to what's up and coming. You're going to hear from everyone today. So we've got the recognition, which we always start with, and then we're going to cross over to Deni. We're going to hear Deni's thoughts on a couple of topics and just see her direction and her advice for us moving forward. And then we've got a fabulous tool that we're reintroducing today. It's called the Bart Kotter Commitment or Bart Kotter Close. So that'll be really a fabulous tool for each of you to use. He's going to do that from Vanuatu with Dr. Debbie Ball, who he'll be running through that with. We're just going to touch on promotions, incentives, and of course, leading through the holiday period, it's really important to know what events are coming up. And Deni's going to give us some advice on how to stay plugged in through that holiday season as well. So I don't have any music today for the recognition, but we are going to start with a very special video that I'll let Bart tell you about.
Okay, so a little while back we had Mr. Stevie Aquilina help us to get in state. It's always important to get in the proper state before anything that you do, be in your mental state, your physical state. And so Stevie's going to kick us off today with the ASEA Haka that was recorded at Envision earlier this year. You're gonna love this. How good was that?
Stevie is definitely our most entertaining MC in Australia, Stevie Aquilina Platinum from Sydney. So I don't know if we told you we were featuring you today, Stevie, but always amazing. So with the recognition, we have been unable to pull week 47 results, rank advancements from last week, just due to an IT challenge. So they will be, all the people online, if you rank advanced last week, you will be recognised in our newsletter as soon as the reports are fully functioning. So we'll run through the few weeks beforehand, and for the recording, we'll add the music in as well. So I'm just going to run through these for all of you. We start with, as you know, the Vanuatu Achievers. So Bart, did you want to, I'll just actually quickly let people know who won the grand prize. Fiona and of course Dan and Suzanne Doyle. And then here's the people listed from our team who won second prize as well. And of course they're bringing guests along. Yeah, massive congratulations. And third prize, our amazing third prize achievers as well. So we are very excited to pass the time over to them for just a minute. I think Bart wants to introduce a few very special people. And yeah, hand the time over to you, Bart.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got the amazing Kim Hill with us right now. And we'll have Mal say a couple words here too. Ambassador Diamond Mal Swords here with us. But these incentives are fantastic. And Kim, how is it being here in Vanuatu? I just want to commend Kim for doing such an amazing job putting this together as well.
Thank you. Thanks, Bart. It's been an unbelievable experience. We had 33 of our 39 qualifiers join us at this amazing resort in Vanuatu, plus their guests. So you're able to bring a guest as well. We've had an incredible time just relaxing, enjoying, laughing, networking. We had an incredible training yesterday. We had Chuck Funky, our CEO, talk a little bit about self-sabotage and how that affects all of us to some degree. We also had a diamond panel to hear from our amazing diamonds as well as our grand prize winners. It's just been an incredible event to network, to enjoy, to hang out with friends and family, and just really build our, our network of Aussies and Kiwis as a group. So it's been absolutely amazing. I encourage and challenge all of you to make sure that you come potentially on one next year. No announcements yet, but if nothing else, the Ascent event, which is going to be just as phenomenal.
Yeah, so Kim and I were having a chat yesterday, and she's already been going through the budget with corporate, and I have a feeling that we've got some very exciting things that are coming up. And so, Mal, maybe you can even talk for just a minute about promoting from event to event and how great these trips are to be able to kind of push for a goal and then connect with your team and that sort of thing.
Yeah, sure. So one of the key strategies with a business like this is to use the events as stepping stones. And, I'm from a Scottish background, so if there's a free trip, I'm all in. And so it's always a good way to build your business, especially in the early stages where for many people, I guess, many people have never been overseas. And I know in the last 18 months or so, there have been a number of you that might be on this call that have been overseas for the first time. And so anytime you can qualify for a trip, and what ASEA really does with these events is to reward us for what we should be doing anyway. They reward us for building our organizations, for developing our organizations. And one of the key things is to then help other people to do the same thing. And so what we really want to know is where we're going next year. And so we're hoping that we can prize that out of Kim before the end of this call. And I'm sure she's got a few ideas that might motivate you to move on. But it's been an incredible year for many of us. And we look forward to sharing a huge year with many of you next year and being in some great location this time next year, and maybe we'll find out before the call's ended where we're going to be next year if Kim releases that information too. Maybe she won't. But and great to see you, Deni. You're looking amazing. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Thank you.
So Mal has brought what he refers to as his rabbits.
Rabbits. Yep. 3 rabbits. 3 of the 8 rabbits.
Yeah, he's got 8 rabbits, 8 kids, and he's brought 3 of his kids. We've had such a great time just connecting with them, swimming with turtles, and going out and seeing the villagers walking across hot rocks and fire and all sorts of things. Awesome. So any announcements of where our next contest is, Kim?
No announcements. Yes. They're trying hard to get it out of me, but not yet. Not yet.
Don't tell Bart because he accidentally doesn't keep secrets.
Right.
Look, it's not me that can't keep a secret. It's just the people I tell that can't keep a secret.
That's right. That's why he's such a good networker, right? That's what we do.
That's right.
You know what? I love that you guys are all there because I want to remind everyone, sometimes there's pain in the process, but there's so much pleasure in the payoff. It's just so worth it to work from event to event. And I'd love to talk on that afterward. But you guys all look good. You look good in the sun. It looks great. So fun.
Thanks, Deni.
Hey, Deni, you had mentioned you have a really special ASEA testimony that you'd like to share.
I do.
Brilliant time.
I would love to do that. So I want to tell everybody, of course, I'm always a great guinea pig, but I have a girlfriend who's actually in ASEA and who owns a big spa, and they do facials and they recently brought in some lasers, and they've been doing this treatment now, this treatment, and in her clinic for probably 6 or 8 months. And I said, we were talking about it, and I said, Sarah, let's use me as a guinea pig because they have a really certain protocol of how they use this and what you're supposed to use at what time. And so a week ago Monday, I had a halo laser treatment on my face. Now, ASEA has done amazing things for me, you guys, I want you to know, but I used to coach and teach swimming, and I still had, you always see me, especially in the summer at ASEA events, I always wear a big hat, but I'm not always as good about putting stuff on my neck and on my chest. And so I still had areas of even melasma, which is colored, discolored skin. And just so you know, my girlfriend years ago had got me on great products. And when we got Renew 28, how many years ago, as an advisory council member, I had been using this for probably about 4 or 5 weeks. And she saw me in town and she said, Deni, what are you doing? Your skin looks amazing. And she actually then started using this after women had gotten procedures in their office because of the bruising that it might cause. But anyway, so last Monday, I had a halo laser treatment, and it's an ablative and non-ablative procedure. So it actually really heats up the skin, but then if you will, I guess it adds about 500 laser pinpricks per inch. And so if you think of it like if you've ever aerated your lawn, what it kind of looks like, it aerates your skin so that just as it kind of calls in the cells to have to repair that damage, and it increases collagen production. So we actually have before and after pictures, but I did a Facebook Live yesterday. So by the time I got home, since there's a lot of heat involved, I was really hot. And actually, they said that I was probably one of the toughest people they've had through there because it gets really hot and really uncomfortable at the end. But I had prepared myself. I had ASEA in a spray bottle that we decided I would immediately start spraying on my face. Typically, you don't put anything on for a good 24 hours. What I noticed very quickly, which we always do, is that my discomfort level, it actually went away. And my face really cooled down, that I had no more discomfort really that day, just kept spraying. The next morning, I started using Renew 28. And again, this was in the morning, and I shouldn't have put anything on my face until Tuesday evening. So put it on liberally during the day, kept spraying, and by Tuesday evening, I started some of their protocol. The next morning as well, you'll see pictures of me where they're called men. So a lot of the pigment was coming to the surface, and I was even quite swollen. And again, kept using the Renew 28 numerous times on my face. By Thursday morning, we decided that I was actually going to be a little more aggressive. There's a scrub that they say you can use, but you're typically not even supposed to use that for a week. So literally, I'm really only a few full days out. And I used the scrub on my face. And so most of my face looked clear, just kind of like a bad sunburn, but I still had a lot of this dark area from the old skin. So what it kind of looked like by that morning, on that Thursday morning, Thanksgiving, I looked like someone who had been in the Sahara Desert for 3 weeks with no water and parched, if you can imagine what that looked like. And by Friday morning, had scrubbed again. And so all of that dead skin was already off my face. So now it's actually, this is Wednesday, I'm over a week out. I have eyelashes on and lipstick, but I don't have any makeup on. I did just put a little bit of eyeshadow on, but there's no makeup. And so she even yesterday said they've never had anybody heal this fast. And so again, just one more testament to what we're doing, how this is helping the body heal itself inside out, outside in. So for those of you who work in that profession, just again, one more testimonial of what our product is doing. So I was glad to be a guinea pig and to see those kind of results that quickly. So that's my latest ASEA story.
Thank you so much, Deni, because you've been with ASEA for a while now, and to be able to create a new testimony on the products this many years in is really exciting. It's really fun because, of course, we want to be our best testimony. So, well, you always look gorgeous, and the torture was obviously worth it thanks to the product.
The torture was worth it certainly for the product, and I'll always be a guinea pig for our product because I knew what it would do. And so I'm excited to share that with more people as well. But you guys, look at this. It just really helped with the skin. And so again, I've used the Renew 28, but I just had some areas that I wanted, and especially my chest and my neck. So anyway, so let's go over to the next question.
Well, I was just going to say it's a good testimony because I think a lot of people, they may forget that the beauty and anti-aging industry, particularly the beauty industry, is absolutely massive. It's
massive.
Huge, right?
Massive.
So to remember stories like this is really important, particularly for people who visit beauticians and or who call on them. So
well, and what she said, you guys, as well, since we do know the anti-aging industry is such a huge, multi-billion-dollar industry, she said people spend a lot of money, but they don't like the downtime. And so anything that they can do to help their clients, their patients heal faster, feel more comfortable during the process, and to have something that we all know is so affordable, which so they're actually going to start including this in the regimen for their clients. So very exciting.
Fantastic. Deni, what we're going to do is transition quickly back to the recognition, and then we'll bring you back on. But thank you so much for sharing that story with us. Okay, so congratulations again to all the Vanuatu Achievers for our market. We're very lucky that Kim was able to actually pull an incentive together for the Australia-New Zealand market. So congratulations again. Enjoy your last day there at that amazing resort. And Bart, I don't know if you had anything else to add before I go on to the rest of the recognition.
No, that's great. We're just really proud of everybody that made the trip and came out. It's a great place to connect, and glad Kim could come and join us, and definitely make sure that you reach for the beach for the next one and every incentive trip.
Thank you. Thanks, Kim. Okay, we wanted to say thank you to all the new directors who have come into our team in the last 3 weeks since our last webinar as well. So congratulations, all new directors. Here are our directed 300s. I'm not going to run through names, and I'll put music to the recording, but just have a chance to have a look through recognised members of your team. Be sure to reach out and congratulate them. And if you're on the webinar today, congratulations. Director 700s. Feel free to add anything if you want to, Bart.
Massive congratulations, you guys. Director 300, Director 700. These are really important ranks that you want to promote and help your team achieve, because look, if you can just create an army of Director 300s, you will literally become a presidential triple diamond, because the compensation plan is structured all around that. So obviously people, as they're moving up these ranks, they're helping build and support their team. So this is just a massive congratulations to all these people who have achieved this. So anything you want to add to that too, Mal?
Yeah, this is a platform for the business. You know, if you can go direct to 700, you can go bronze. If you can go bronze, you can go silver. So, you know, it's like riding a bicycle. Once you know how to ride the bike, the rest is just a repetition of the basics. So congratulations. These are major rank advancements.
And this is the bronzes and who their sponsors are, because as you're moving up the rank to bronze, you're generally working with your sponsor and your upline team even more. And so a big congratulations to these people. This is the first executive leadership rank,
where you can start unlocking the amazing EMP bonus, the executive momentum pool bonus.
That's right.
Very lucrative.
That can be very lucrative. You're right.
Congratulations to the following silver executives and their sponsors as well. Massive congratulations.
I'm missing my bubbles and my
oh, I know. Yes, you're
my party whistles.
The dogs aren't, but everybody else is. And congratulations to the following gold executive associates as well. Really massive achievement. We have one very special triple diamond executive to recognise. Yet again, because those reports are down for last week, we just knew about Winnie Wong from Australia, who also has Winnie unfortunately couldn't join us this morning. She has a meeting in Hong Kong she's attending. But Bart, did you want to share a few thoughts on Winnie, what she has done in terms of being instrumental for the Hong Kong and Asia experience for all of us?
Winnie has been an absolute leader right from day one. And as the corporate was really deciding on where to focus their efforts and energies for global expansion, she took the initiative on her own dime and brought her sister along as well, who's part of her team, to fly and meet with corporate. And what they were really looking for was leadership, because to open up a new market, you've got to have good leadership. And they really saw a tremendous leader in Winnie, and that was a key that helped them make a decision, I think, for the global expansion. Winnie and others, but she really played a very important role in that. So we're so excited to see what she's been able to achieve, and as she's growing and building her team. She's just a remarkable lady and incredibly gracious and beautiful. So we're very, very proud of Winnie.
Congratulations, Winnie. Okay. So what we want to do is transition through the top associate enrollers and the other specialty awards for AutoShip All-Stars and top emerging leaders for the last few weeks as well. So this is week 43, top associate enrollers. Congratulations to everyone listed here from our team, these are global positions in terms of global ranking. So first positions here in our team for week 43. Australia.
Yes. Go Australia. Australia, by the way, is 22% of the global market. It's the, I think, it was the second fastest growing market, or it was the fastest growing market, but Taiwan is, because it's just a new market, it's growing very quickly, but very, very strong market over here. And because we got incredible rock stars like Mal Sword here. And
so we
just blazing a trail. And yep. So here we are, week 45. We got top associate enrollers for this week as well. There we are, Dr. John Moore, Dr. Wayne Pickstone. We've got lots of great leaders on here.
These are people who are out there doing the work. So week 46, top associate enrollers as well. We can see that Julie Watts secured #1 position globally as well for that week.
Jules.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of familiar names on this list because these are the people who are absolutely holding the leadership reins and they're moving forward. So we're really excited for all of you to get tips from Deni on how to do that better today as well. Top emerging leaders across the globe. So we have Julie Watts again, week 43, followed closely by these amazing people, amazing associates. All from Australia again in week 43, so that's very exciting. Please be sure to reach out if your team members listed here are not on this webinar today to congratulate them for their success. Let them know that they're being recognised. It's really important.
Yep.
Emerging Leaders, week 44. Oscar He, #1 position there.
Well done, Oscar.
Well done, absolutely. And then week 45, we have the top emerging leaders. And week 46 as well. So moving on to top autoship all-stars. So these are the people who have a really solid foundation of autoships coming out of their business, which is really the bread and butter of our business. And your name's ranking up here, you've got it, you're building solid growth. Feel free to add anything, Mal or Bart as well.
Oh, Mal's right there on the on that list as well on this one. Well done.
Week 44.
And there's Bart. Well done, you guys.
Thanks, Mal. And yep, week 45.
Congratulations, everybody that's made these ranks. It really shows that you're putting in the effort, and it's going to pay off. Will pay off big time for you. So congratulations, everybody.
And it's really important, since Fast Forward is now a permanent part of the compensation plan, to use the Fast Forward incentive as a launching platform for your business, and to continually do them back to back, which a lot of people are doing through the building momentum phase of your business. It's a really fun way to earn free product and to really get people energized, up and running as well. So congratulations in November so far for the people who have been Fast Forward Achievers in our team as well. You can see Julie Watts right at the top pushing through as, again, she was the first to achieve it in our team this month, and she's a diamond who's feverishly still building her business, which is fantastic. So congratulations, everyone. That's all we have for recognition for today. We just wanted to make sure we honoured all of you, and especially all of you who are on the line today too, as we get closer, obviously, toward December. It's easy to think of excuses as to why not to turn up to events, but we wanted to acknowledge each of you for being on around the world today, and certainly stay online definitely for the rest of the webinar, but don't move right now because we're going to hand the time over to the amazing Presidential Diamond Deni Robinson from Spokane, Washington. So I'm just going to stop the share here and go to you, Deni.
I love that photo of you, Deni. That's a beautiful photo.
It really is.
And Deni, you're muted actually, but I was just going to say I've known Deni for about, Deni, has it been about 22, 23 years?
It has been, yeah.
And look, she's just an amazing leader. I've got all the respect and all the time in the world for this incredible lady. She's just there to support us. Just amazing how you connected, particularly through social media, and created a presence there and led by example with some great ideas, some great tools.
Thank
and
you.
A wonderful lady, a wonderful leader. And so we're grateful that you could join us on the call. And so thank you. Thank you.
I'm honored to be here, really, just honored to be with all of you. And I remember the name of what I thought. So Olivia Newton-John, it was Xanadu. Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. See, Mel, I'm not that old. So anyway, you guys, I'm just excited about 2019 for all of you. And I thought I'd read something. This is actually from a friend of mine that he posted this, and I thought this would be kind of a fun thing to talk about today. Very, very successful in the profession. And I'm gonna read what he wrote. Unless you plan and commit to making 2019 the best year ever, they are only promises and hopes. I remember like it was yesterday, once having the thoughts of, I hope I close this deal, knowing I might not have another one for a while. And I promise I'll have that done by tonight, over-promising and under-delivering due to sheer exhaustion and poor time management. Or I think I can get this done or talk to that person today, which often gets pushed to next week. You get the point. I really wasn't having a good time, and I was slowly starting to resent my business for it. Maybe like me, you're experienced this before, or you're going through it right now, or you haven't encountered this business yet, and what this portion that can derail a lot of us. Though one thing is certain, you're going to be held accountable when you plan. And that's all there is to it. When you plan, you're going to be taking it into micro actions and throughout your day that you compound with consistency. And ultimately, it delivers the rewards that you've always wanted, like being there with that fun in the sun kind of a trip. It's just like following a treasure map. So what's it going to be, all of you on this call? Are you going to plan to crush it in 2019? Or are you going to try to make more false promises to yourself and to your family and hope that everything works out for itself? He said, I know my answer, and I've already completed this 2019 business plan bundle for himself. And so really, it's going to come down to what decisions are you making right now? You know, and I really do believe it comes down to making that decision and having that belief that your decisions and your goals are worthwhile. You know, I always tell people, you're going to have to think it, you're going to have to speak it, you're going to have to boldly believe and declare that it is possible for you, not just for those people you see at these trips right here, that you see that go across stage, but that it is possible for you in your life. But it is all going to start with a decision. You know, I have on a little Coco Chanel pin today, and I am fascinated by people's stories. And, you know, I used to think it was just the Gucci, Prada, la, 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 but I'm in love with this woman's story. You know, she was born in the 1800s. There was 5 children. Her mother died. The mother was 32. The father, you know, can you imagine, Mel, dropped his 3 little rabbits off at a convent. They never saw their father again. And she was raised to be a seamstress, but she was always looking at the beautiful architecture in these churches. And then she started like a hat shop. She took a man's shirt and created a dress compared to corsets. The little black dress that we all know of is because of Coco Chanel. And again, I love what she said. She said, you cannot liberate others until you liberate yourself, until you decide to liberate yourself, that you want to make a difference far beyond yourself. You know, I come from a small town. My graduating class had 28 people in it. And often when I go back, I love and adore all of these people that I grew up with. But I'm just so grateful because in my mind, I could have been stuck there. My gosh, and with my education level, you know, last weekend was Thanksgiving. We had a bunch of family here. And I've got a nephew he's got a master's degree, a law degree, and he's a PhD teaching at college. Then I have a nephew who's a doctor, and they were talking about the different salaries that these different kind of professions could make and how much money that was. And you guys, I out-earned those big time dollars that they were talking about substantially. And I just sat there thinking, because I believed in something that was bigger than myself, and I didn't know the treasure map. I didn't know exactly how to get there. It all starts with putting one foot in front of the other. But this truly is the great equalizer. And if you're sitting here on this call with hopes and dreams, unfulfilled aspirations, or thinking, is this as good as life gets? You know, I remember being introduced to this profession right about really the time I was 30, and just really realizing people did. They got in their 40s and 50s and they lost their dream. You know, when we're going to high school, we kind of think the world is our oyster and we can become and do and have everything. And it's so wonderful seeing people get the passion back to realize that they can change things. And to, you know, I know, Mal, your story, it just is so powerful to me, how someone can literally change their life in just such a short amount of time. And you guys, that doesn't happen when I say, quote, the real world often with Tom. You know, for someone to go back into the workforce and climb their way to the very top of the corporate ladder, it's just not going to happen with someone with this kind of an education level. But the harder that you work, the bigger you expand your network, the more people that you help, you get to change your stars and your family stars forever. But guess what? It's not just your stars. It's the stars of so many people. And I often think of the adults that I know, and of course the ones that I'm not even aware of, but I often think of the children. And so, Mel, to see those pictures of your little rabbits, to know that in a small part that I've been able to be a conduit for good in making a difference in those lives. And we don't even get to know yet what's going to happen. And so I always tell people the goal of network marketing truly is to plant a seed and water it well, and that can grow into a tree that can leave shade for generations. And that's what we get to do. And the enormity of that for everyone on this call today, you know, the vision is clear and where we are going. And if you haven't, you know, if you don't quite understand that, I often tell people, a couple months ago, I was talking to Vicki Key, who started with me doing the meetings. It'll be 8 years in January. And I said, Vicki, what was it? What was in our head that made us believe so strongly? Because there was no evidence that we would be in faraway lands and faraway places. They talked about it, but it was only something that we dreamed about. There was no evidence that people could make this kind of money and that this company would actually still be here. So for any of you who are, you know, the product is not on trial and there is an income level for whatever output level that you want to be engaged with your life. And so again, not everyone needs to do this full-time, big time. But if you know, I'm passionate about helping people even make those few $100s, $500 a month, because that is life-changing for people. I have people who send me pictures of grocery carts, stuff they're buying for their kids for school, car payments, house payments, paying off credit cards, cutting up credit cards. And so never underestimate what this can do for people. And I always, you know, I think, Bart, I think we've talked about this before. People often ask me, well, you know, what do you make? And I'll say, well, what's a lot of money to you? Because sometimes it can be too much when you tell them what you make. So I always ask people, what's a lot of money to you? And then I'm like, well, yeah, I make that. And then I always tell them, well, I ask people, what's a lot of money to you? What would be a lot of money to you? And then I break it down to what would be life-changing money for you? You know, and for most people, you guys, it's a couple $1,000s a month. And then I always tell people, if I can show you how to make $500 a month, you know, we start to work on that. I can start to show you how to make $500 a week. And you know what? Over time, I can show you how to make $500 a day and $500 an hour, because it's possible. But you have to start with those small, minute steps. And so I'm really into having the big, audacious goals, but I break them down into very doable components. You know, I exercise this morning, but you know, you don't get the body that you want. You don't get the education that you want without doing things consistently every single day. So that would be my message that I'd really want to relay to all of you guys today is I would write out your plan for this year. You know, what is that big goal that you want? Break it down. I actually had it broke down to how many associates I'd need to have to be when I went diamond. You guys, I was within 75 people of what I was going to have to go diamond, because I broke it down. I knew weekly how many people I was sponsoring, my team was sponsoring. And so if you want to be paid like you have a big business, run it like you have a big business. And if you take control of it like that, it's amazing what will start to show up. But if you have no idea what's going on in your back office and who you're talking to and you're not tracking it, you really have created for yourself kind of a nice hobby, which is great. But if you want to change your life, you're going to have to drill down a little bit deeper. So Bart, I'll go over to you for a minute.
Hey, Deni, thank you so much for sharing that. I dare say distractions get in the way for people, right?
They do.
So they can bring these massive, audacious goals into their lives. They can plan it out, but then January 1st hits or January 2nd hits, and then because people allow distractions to consume their life. They allow it to happen. Now, when you started your ASEA business, you were building a house. You were the contractor. You were building the house. And so what advice do you have for people when it comes to, particularly through the holiday season, when it comes to, yes, setting their goals and then allowing distractions to permanently take them away from achieving those goals and being in the same situation in 12 months' time, wishing that they would have. So what are your thoughts on that?
Great question. You know, actually next week is mine and Trish Winkler's 9-year anniversary. So it was December 5th, 2009 that we engaged with a company. And so that's the month that we got started. And I actually went, you know, Director 700 that month. And so you guys, people are still making buying decisions, purchasing decisions, and business decisions. So don't really check out. And I always tell people, you know, in your network marketing business, if you only have 2 hours, go all out. You know, if you only get to work for an hour, go all out. If you only have 30 minutes, go all out. And if you don't feel like working, if you're a leader, you know what, go all out cheering your team and someone else that's working on your team. But whenever you're focused, go all in. You know, I have some classes that I take on my Peloton bike that are called Tabata classes. And they're all about that real hit mentality, because that's really when you change, you know, your body. But it's really about focusing in short incremental bits of time. And I think it's far more effective. It's far more effective in our physical bodies. But when you put that focused effort into your business as well, it's really difficult for a lot of people to work for a full 8 hours a day, especially if you don't have a large business. So it's much better to actually set your timer, set your clock, and see how many people that you can talk to, how many dials you can make. You know, and on that point, I want to tell people, when you're doing your 3-way calls, believe me, they should not be an hour and a half. The reason you shouldn't be doing really long 3-way calls is your people are listening to you, looking at their clock, thinking, I don't have an hour and a half to talk to somebody, right? I already work a full-time job. I've got children. I've got a spouse, and there's no way that I could do this. You've got to help people understand how to be able to weave this business into their already very busy schedule. So, you know, and most of my top leader friends in the profession would tell you those should really be about 10 to 15 minutes, and then be plugging them into a tool as well. And I'm hoping, you know, I know you guys are all great about using tools. We've got some great Facebook groups, but I can tell you that I've really transitioned, especially over this last year, to a far more online business model. As you guys all see, we do a lot of ASEA United. My organization had gotten so big. I don't have time to talk to everybody, but that's why we're continually putting in content. I do a lot of 3-way calls within Messenger on Facebook. I have numerous groups on Facebook that I can go in, chat with, put tips and ideas on, and compared to me always having to be present. Because again, my intentions are to far expand my global business with the time available that I have. And so I've really drilled into that.
So I've got a quick question that kind of is a spin-off of Melissa's question, which I thought was really good, particularly through the holidays and stuff, and working your business in spurts. I mean, one thing I heard you say, Deni, is that is you really set a clear intention of what you wanted to create to begin with. You knew, you had your sights on diamond. I love the concept of starting with the end in mind, getting clear where you're going. But on that note, one of the most interesting conversations that you had, because I think you followed your intuition, you followed your heart, you listened to, you know, listen to the spirit, if you want to call it that. But you made a very interesting call on at a very interesting time to Chuck and Tammy Gates.
I did.
Maybe just tell us about that experience.
So you guys,
took place.
You bet. And so I'm all about inspiration and prayer. And so it was 3 days before Christmas. And we were living in an apartment because I leveled our house like Extreme Home Makeover. And I have a deal that it's like whoever's name is placed upon my heart and my mind, I'm going to give them a call. And Chuck and Tammy's name was placed there. And you guys, that was kind of a little bit of that was an up call, okay? because they were very successful in our former company, more successful than I had been. And so 3 days before Christmas at 9 o'clock at night on a Sunday night, who does that? But I gave them a call, and you know what? They listened. And very quickly, I had them on the phone with Alan Noble. They got on a call the next night, and it's just amazing what started to transcend after that serendipitous moment. But, the worst thing someone can do is tell you no. And I can tell you one thing, I'm not much into mediocrity, and mediocrity won't ever be on my menu. And so no challenge, no change is really how I feel about it. It looks impossible until you get to the mountain, and then you find, your next mountain. And so you just keep climbing higher, talking to people. But what we always talk about, Bart, so on the same note, probably in that same week, actually before I'd called Chuck and Tammy, I had called Jerry White, who you guys know, who is an Ambassador Diamond. And Jerry had told me no. So someone had told me yes, they saw it and they engaged. But I also continued for 2.5 years to follow up with Jerry. And, we lovingly talk about this. He was mean to me. I mean, he'll actually say he was meaner to me than to anybody he's ever been to. I would get off the phone with him and I'd go, I'm never going to call him again. And a couple months later, that little voice would come to me and I'd think, oh no, but it's my deal. And so I'd call him again, and we had for 2.5 years those kind of conversations. But I always knew if Jerry White could see what I saw, he could change countless lives. And that's exactly what happened. But what it's all about, you guys, is creating relationships. Don't sever relationships. Still be friends with people. Don't be all about ASEA. But just continue to follow up and drip on them. But you just never know, because you can have the right person, but it be the wrong time. Bart, I think you and I even had a conversation early on, right? But it just wasn't the right time. Now, thank goodness you ended up in my organization, right? But you just never know. And so, because it really takes the average person 7 to 12 exposures before they say yes. So you guys, you're on this call. You don't get to walk around, lick your finger and go, you're mine, because I talked to you 3 years ago. That's just not the way it is. You've got to follow up with people. And because people are going to hear about it, they might as well hear about it from you.
We're very grateful that we ended up in after all. So
I'm glad. Thank you.
I was just going to say, Deni, Mel, you relate to what Deni's saying in terms of the right timing, and particularly to draw something else out of your comment before, Deni, when it comes to planning, knowing what your statistics are and getting after it. So do you have any comments to add to that, Mel?
No, I just, what Deni shared just now, that when I first took a look at this with Dani, when we went over to Utah to meet. In fact, Deni, you were there at that meeting in 2014.
You guys, I actually had a welcome. I was down at the bottom of the escalator. I remember, right, Mel? I had a sign for you guys. I was waiting there for you.
Yeah, and one of the things that, in hindsight, that I was able to look back at that meeting when Virtus was in the boardroom was that Virtus won my heart that day, but my head was saying, it's not the right time. I had another organization that I'd invested, 3 years of my life into, and there was reasons why I was waiting for the outcome of a particular case and a legal matter, which eventually that company won. So it was a battle. It was an emotional battle. But I can tell that, I knew that Virtus had my heart, and I really wanted to be in business with that man. And it wasn't the right time for me. And, some probably 16, 18 months after that, it was the right time. And very graciously, Bart and Melissa, kept in touch. And I was Bart's Jerry White. I was most unpleasant. And the reason that I was because I didn't want to open the door. I was in a lot of fear. I was in a lot of pain, and hurt people. And I was dealing with a lot of hurt right then for lots of reasons. And so, it just emotionally just wasn't the right time. But, one thing led to another, and Dani reached out to me late 2015. My circumstances had changed, and the time became right. So, they didn't burn the bridge. If they trashed the bridge, then that would have been different. So, leave the door open. If it's not somebody's time, it's not. We just move on. There's plenty of other people that are looking right now, and so it is very much about people's timing. And so, be gracious, even if they're not ready. Be gracious with them, and
be gracious.
Be gracious, and just respect that the time's not right. But they might come into your business in 2 years' time and be an ambassador. I bet you're really glad that you were gracious with Jerry White.
I'm so grateful. And you know what? The same kind of thing. That very first week I got back from Salt Lake City, I diamond Carl Smith, who you'll notice last night we did a presentation. And what Carl did, though, because it was in the beginning, he understood how binaries worked. And Carl will tell the story that he paid the $40 enrollment probably to get rid of me, right? But he wanted to see what I was going to continue to do. So Carl Smith never bought any product, never even came to a meeting for 15 months. And when Carl Smith finally came to a meeting, he sat there in the room like this. And actually when he left, Vicki Key said to me, he didn't get it, did he? I said, I don't think so. But he called me a couple days later and said, I need to be on that auto ship, don't I? And I said, well, yeah, but I want to give him a bad time. I said, so what changed your mind? He said, Dani, it's real, isn't it? I said, well, what do you think I've been trying to tell you? But he had went to PubMed and started doing all this research. And so he then started putting, his patients on it. And again, patient after patient, and he has hundreds and hundreds of patients and story after story. Now, but here's what I want you guys to understand. When I talk to people, I'm so sure of what this product does and what this business can do. I tell people, I want you to be very sure about what you might be saying no to, because where you might come in today compared to where you might come in later, could literally equate to thousands of people. And so, because I have so many people who, even in the beginning, who told me no, who now come to me and say, so if I had come in then, there'd be how many people in my organization? So again, this really is a valuable piece of real estate because of how this business is structured with the binary. Carl Smith is able to leverage making $10,000 a week off of the efforts that I put underneath him, because he got that little piece of real estate, that spot in the tree. So you guys, it really, same with you, Mel, right? Even though you didn't engage at that time, you had joined the company. And Carl will often call me and say, Deni, thank you, because it has become the most valuable asset as far as a real estate investment or a stock option that he could have bought with the residual aspect that he's been able to create. And you guys, I love Napoleon Hill. I'm all about, my own personal development, probably like Bart. I listen to Tony Robbins every day. Love that guy. But the starting point of all achievement is desire. Great achievement is usually born of great sacrifice and is never the result of selfishness. It is literally true that you can succeed best and quickest by helping others to succeed, Napoleon Hill. And I just think nowhere else does that hold quite as true as in network marketing, because the only way that you reach the pinnacle of wherever you want to be is if you help a lot of other people become successful too. So that's why we're on this call today. Not that you guys need me, but I'm so grateful and indebted to you for all that you've done. So it really is, we just continue handing the torch, the gift to someone, and look what you guys have done. I remember, talking with you, Bart and Melissa, and look at all of these diamonds that you guys have created now, literally across Asia, that I'll probably never even get to meet all of them. So really so exciting.
Deni, you said something really interesting, and that is you hung in there with people so that they could make an educated yes or an educated no. And then Mel sort of said something really important, and that is it's really our responsibility to help people have that heart moment with ASEA, because no other company in our industry, and there's over 3,000, they don't have the Virtus Norton, they don't have the founders of the company that we have, they don't have the unique ASEA culture. And so really when it comes to going from our head to our heart, events are so important to be able to get people to, so they can see that bigger vision, so that they can make an educated answer when it comes to, yes, I would like to do this, or no, it's not for me, not for now. And one thing I love about Bart is he doesn't listen to no. He emailed saying not right now, and he continued. So in terms of your opinion on that when it comes to big events and really helping people get that vision and have ASEA melt into their heart, what was that heart-melting moment for you, and what advice do you have for people in that regard?
Well, of course, being at events, for me to be at that fly-in with Virtus Norton and then to go to a couple subsequent fly-ins after that, I remember being with Virtus and him saying, Deni, what this will be in a few months, a few years, and many years down the road, you just can't even imagine. And I believed him. I really believed him. And I want you all to know, probably far before I believed in the enormity and the impactfulness of the product, I believed in Virtus Norton. And, but again, the more people that I put the product on, the more miracles that I saw. So for me, the importance of getting to these events, and I have been since I've engaged, I have been at every corporate event. I've earned every trip. And for those I'm all about earning trips. Now, the reason I love earning trips, many of you know I put my husband through college and graduate school selling Tupperware. These trips that these people are on, even if you had the money, you might not spend that money on that kind of a trip. And so when I was young, putting Tom through college and graduate school, I figured out if I earned every incentive that they always offered, I would get this super fun thing or trip. All the money that I wanted, I would make, right? My team would grow. So it was a win-win-win. And so to me, I'm all about, you need to be winning every trip, help your team win the trips, because you're getting paid so many times over. And it's just all about the excitement and the momentum of the team. Plus, it's about leading from the front. I will never ask anybody to do anything that I haven't done, currently doing, have done successfully, because it's all about leading from the front. It's not, I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk, and more importantly, I do the do. And so you guys let your team and your people see you doing the do, the daily activity, the mode of operation that propels your business.
Thank you, Deni. But did you have any comments on the last few things that Deni was saying before I move on to the next question?
No, brilliant points. Doing the do and leading by example. What we started off this call with the Vanuatu trip. I mean, what a great way. I like to think of network marketing as a game. The game is finding your leaders. It's a treasure hunt. You're treasure hunting, looking for leaders, looking for people that you can have an impact with, whether it's on the product, and then ultimately finding your leaders. And if you turn it into a game, the incentive trips are a great way to do that too.
Completely. How many people you have at events is actually the biggest indicator that your business is growing. If you're the only one there, you guys, your business isn't growing. But when you start exponentially having 10 people, 20 people, I remember being at an Eric Worre event, was that 4 years ago, Bart? And he talked about, you can expect to be able to earn, thousands of dollars off of each person that you bring to an event if they're engaged. And so, you can just start to see when you've got 100 people there and it starts to grow. You can't always imagine that right now. But here's what I like to always ask people. For all of you on the call, here's my question for you. If you had 100 hours every single week to work uninterrupted on your business, do you think you'd be successful? I wish I could see all your hands. Well, guess what? I might be able to get you to work 100 hours for 1 week, maybe 100 hours for the next week, but by the third week, you couldn't do it. It's just not possible. But guess what? If you have 10 people who are willing to commit 10 hours a week, you have a business that's working 100 hours. And they don't even have to be all 10 people that you've personally sponsored. You could have sponsored 4 who sponsor a couple of them, but that's when you start to understand the leverage and the exponential factor of how many hours you can work per week. And when you start to really understand that, it'll keep you awake at night. I remember when I was first getting paid just in Pacific time. Then I sponsored, people, Chuck and Tammy over in Montana in Mountain Time. Then I was in Central and Eastern, because we were only in the United States. Then we opened Canada. Then we had Europe. So I was getting paid in these different time zones. I'm asleep. I'm getting paid for people who are putting in their couple hours, their 10 hours a week. And then as we've now opened Australia, You know, I had a whole other time zone while I'm sleeping. And now with Asia, my percentage of my hours worked, I'm getting paid 24 hours a day. Now, there's not many professions that get to do that. Even my high paid, you know, doctor friends, my orthopedic surgeon friends, he doesn't get paid unless he's in there doing surgery. And when he wants to take off time, you know, his people have to take off time. He pays hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for malpractice insurance. And so to make the big bucks, he's got to be there. And as many of you know, we just got back last month from 3 weeks in Europe, had some of the biggest checks I've had in my career in ASEA. And so that's what's so incredible about this, is you don't always have to be there when you start to assemble a great base and you work it again over time. So that's what's exciting.
Deni, you mentioned Eric Worre, and a lot of people on this webinar know you through featuring in his Most Powerful Women in Network Marketing. Mm-hmm. He's an amazing guy, but before I transition into him, people need to know that you started your network marketing business in a 40-foot trailer in, is it Afton, Wyoming?
We lived in Afton, Wyoming, you guys, a little teeny town. It was so sweet. Ed and Danny did a video last week, 347 people, I think. That's where I had my first company car. And yes, that's how I got started.
From Afton, Wyoming, and 40 feet is about 12 meters for the Australians, Kiwis on the line. But then to go and feature as a main speaker on Eric Worre's stage, what's he like and why is it important for what he's doing in our industry and why should we have his tools?
You know what? I've always been, I'm always trying to up-level myself. And so I'm a huge reader. I've got many books, but Eric Worre is the biggest, foremost network marketing professional in the profession. And of course, I'm involved in Ray Higdon. I love Bob Heilig. But I love going to these events. I love Eric Worre, but what I really love, why these events are so important, is I get to hang out and mastermind with some of the best network marketers on the planet. And so it really is wonderful to be recognized as one of the top 200 income earners worldwide and to be featured. I'm just so grateful. I'm actually on the Network Marketing Ambassadors panel with legends like Lisa Grossman and Tom Chenault and Richard Blissbrook. And so I have always tried, I'm always wanting to gain more knowledge so that I can pour it into my team from people who have gone before me, who have done things I haven't done. And let me tell you guys, it's not from just people who are older, man. I am drilled into some of these younger people who are not even 30 years old, who are seven-figure yearly earners because they've really mastered this social media aspect. And you guys will all be seeing more of that next week in ASEA United. This is the first announcement I'll be telling you about. We're going to be really redoing that with more units and topics where it'll be much easier to find information. Mal and all of you guys, we're going to have you be more involved in putting some great content. But we've been taking more classes on social media, and I got to tell you, there is so many people, and I'm not just talking the talk. We are experiencing the benefits of using social media to be able to grow our business outside of our local area and from contacts that we would have had by utilizing these tools. But anyway, that's why I love these events, because I have learned so much. Had I not had these relationships, I wouldn't have learned what's really propelled my business even more over the last few years, Melissa.
Thanks, Deni. We can't wait to see what you do, because particularly when it comes to social media, because you are brilliant at it. Probably the best in ASEA at managing your business through social media. And we all get to benefit, which has been wonderful through what you've set up for all of us. So thank you so much for doing that, because you like to stay cutting edge. There are a lot of millennials in our business now. There are a lot of people like Mal who love IT. Mal's learning from his kids.
Well, and you know, Melissa, on that fact, many of you have heard of Larry Thompson. You know, I think of Herbalife. He'd made like about 100 million back in the 80s, right? Jeff Alterberger is a friend of mine who's made 35 million in this profession. But these are people, he talks about there's old school and there's new school. This really isn't new school, it's just school. You always have to stay cutting edge and relevant to what's happening. And, you know, we used to be completely belly to belly. Then we started with these fax machines that we had, right? Then we were able to email information. And now we're able to do it even faster because everyone's walking around, you know, with their cell phones. And so why wouldn't you want to be where people are accessing the most amount of their time? Here's your all tip of the day as well, with Healthy Self. So let's just say, Bart, I had just met you in town and we chit-chatted, and I'm going to ask some questions about you as well, get to know what you're interested in a little bit. And you guys, I'm really a little crazy over that new bank code book. You saw some of the information from Trish, but the founder of that company is a friend of mine, Sherry Tree. So I recommend that you'd read that book. But anyway, so Bart, if we met in town, you might ask me what I do. And I would say, you know, I'd love to tell you more, but Bart, could we be Facebook friends? So I could add you to a private secret group. And so you guys, I never give away business cards, right? Because if the person with the contact wins. So Bart, I would ask, I'd say, open up your phone to Facebook, and I would actually grab your phone and add myself as a friend. The person with a contact wins. And I'll say, when I get a minute, I'm going to, you know, send you a message and add you to that group. I often then take a snapshot when your profile comes up so that I have your contact, and then I add people to Healthy Self. This has been so effective. When I've met people, I've met them sometimes in the morning in town. They've literally messaged me because I like to tag them in my personal testimonial, and I would recommend all of you write your testimonial, put it with a picture in Healthy Self. The reason being, when you meet someone, first of all, it's going to help you have that really good 30 or 45-second elevator speech is right, your own testimonial. Tag them in your testimonial because you're the most important person to them. And then I'm going to tag them in a couple testimonials that would be interesting. So Bart, I know you're athletic. I'm going to post you on a couple of athletic testimonials, things that would intrigue you. Then I tell people, I message them, have them scroll around, but I've had people join in the afternoon because of what they've seen there. So again, just another really great tool.
No, that's fantastic. And we should probably type that in the message thing. There's probably everybody's familiar with those Facebook groups, but if they're not, ASEA Healthy Self, ASEA Wealthy Self. This is ASEA and ASEA United. Those.
Yes, and we also have ASEA Via Nutritionals as well. So we have a new site, just so you know, and it's only got a few thousand people on it. And again, because of my relationships, my friends taught me that if you have flagship products, to keep them separate. So what we're doing is we have a whole new page for just ASEA Via testimonials. And so people aren't getting it confused a little bit. So if you want to have people just read about what all of our nutritionals are doing, you can find a lot more testimonials there. And so Bart and Melissa, we can put those maybe in your newsletter as well.
And that's called ASEA Via Nutritionals, is that correct?
ASEA Via Nutritionals,
Perfect. Thank you, Deni. Mel, Dan, Bart, if you have any more questions for Deni, that'd be brilliant. I know we've taken a lot of your valuable time. We're so excited that you could join us, learn so much from you. Everyone can now see why Deni is sitting where she's sitting at the rank that she is sitting at, because she's a phenomenal leader. She's an inspiration. You really are to every single one of us, Deni. You're an incredible powerhouse, and we know how much you love people. So thank you for joining us. Mel, Bart, I keep going to call you Dan. Bart, did you want to add anything else before Deni?
I'm Mel, Bart. No, I just want to say Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas, Deni. I hope you have a special time with your family and all your loved ones. And I look forward to sharing a 2019. And thank you to you and Trish for leading the way for all of us and opening the door and being a messenger and allowing us to continue for Virtus. And we all feel, I think, incredibly grateful to be on this journey with you. So thank you. And I hope Santa Claus is very kind to you.
He certainly is. You know what, Melissa, I just pulled up something. You know, you asked how I feel about big events. I knew I had a note that I had typed out in a newsletter. And it was, this is what I had said, the importance of big events. And I just said, without reservation or without hesitation, to have success in your business, you have to attend the major events. And you have to create a culture where your team attends them. Everyone has a story why they can't attend, but you can't buy their stories or make up one of your own. And I said, so are you registered for your team's next major event? Because you get inspiration, fellowship, recognition, power pellets that will really help you tackle your business. And then I've even said, some people even at this point say, so Deni, you make a lot of money. Why do you still go? Well, that's a flawed system, I said, because if I stop learning and being around others who can help me grow, because they stretch me, they pour into me, and that's what events do for me. And that's what they'll do for all of you. So make sure that you are scheduled to go to your event in February and of course to our international convention. And because events are vital for your success, and you get to learn from those around you guys. But really, to me, it's all about event to event, getting your people. The more people that you can get from one to go to the next, the business just grows, the vision increases, and people start to see how they can get to the mountain.
Thank you, Deni. Give our love to Tom. And was that your 5th grandchild or your 6th grandchild?
That was our 5th that Quinn just had. Alyssa will be our 6th. So yeah, very exciting.
Congratulations. Have a fantastic Christmas. No doubt
Bye,
we'll catch
everyone.
you soon. And we need to get you out to Australia too.
Okay, let's do that. Bye, you guys. Big love to all of you.
Thank you so much, Deni. Yep. Looking forward to having you and Tom come join us again.
We can't wait. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, what we're going to do now is don't go anywhere because we're going to transition into a really important tool that Bart has been using and I've used it too. Bart introduced it to me actually 20 years ago. I was in the same company that he was in. I was Crossline. And when we met for the first time, he took me through this exercise and it absolutely set my business up for complete and total success. It's unique to him. You'll absolutely love it. He's going to introduce a very special lady as well who he will take you through the exercise with. So it's called the Bart Kotter, the Commitment Conversation, or otherwise known as the Bart Kotter Close. So I'll hand it over to you, Bart. You're muted. Yeah, I just unmuted you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, look, I'm very excited to have Dr. Debbie Ball here with me today. Debbie is, she's from Bundaberg, originally from the States. Yep. And she's got a chiropractic clinic up in Bundaberg, Australia, in Queensland. And she's just an amazing leader. She's an amazing lady and a great leader. She's had, she won the contest, obviously, for Vanuatu, but it was really about the time that she enrolled was when this contest started. And so I think that there's, so we're going to have a lot of fun going through a little conversation. Now, the conversation that I want to go through, this is really important for everybody listening to this. And this conversation is basically, I want you to think of this conversation that I'm going to have with Debbie as if I'm sitting right there with you right now, having this exact same conversation. So I want you to really pay attention with both, with both ears and both eyes and really be engaged in this conversation. Now, as you listen to the conversation, I also want you to wear 2 hats. One hat would be that I'm talking with you about this commitment conversation personally, but also I want you to think in terms of having this conversation with your key people, because it's very, very important. See, there's certain things that every one of us, whether we're thinking them about consciously or subconsciously, we're constantly deciding, is this the right company that I want to associate myself with? Are they the right people that I can put my heart and soul behind? Are they the kind of people that I want to associate my name, my good reputation with? Is the timing right? Though all these things are really important. Is there a team in place? So a lot of times we don't even think about these questions consciously. They're kind of niggling in our heart, in our mind, and we're just kind of wondering, is this the right place? Is this the right time? And so by the way, this conversation, there's different levels or different stages that you can have this conversation. Even when we do a presentation, we cover all these points in a Discover ASEA presentation. And as I introduce someone, I'm going to cover a lot of these same points in a different way. But this particular conversation is helping someone to make a bigger decision and get on the same so that you can really, it's not locking in a commitment with just that person, but it's your commitment to work with that person also. So, so hopefully we'll have some cooperation and not too many distractions from some background noise here. But let's go ahead and go through that. So one of the most important things, obviously, is helping someone to discover their why. If your why is big enough, it doesn't matter what the challenge is, what the obstacles are. And it's also important to realize that anything that's created out here is first got to be created here. You got to know what you want in order before you can go out and get it. You know, you just otherwise you don't know it all. So, so Debbie, we've you've engaged in your business. You've gotten things rolling. You've hit Director 700, and the fact is that as we've looked at our entire organization, you know, we've got a lot of people in our team that we'd like to work with, and bottom line is that we'd like to work with you.
That's great.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Because right now we're focused. You know, we're taking this thing all the way, and I'm not sure exactly where your heart is, where you want to go with this. So I want to have a conversation with you to go over exactly these points. Kind of an important conversation. I want to just kind of let you know where we're at and find out where you're going with this.
Okay.
Okay. Can you hear us okay, Melissa?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yes, we're going to play the video.
Okay. So, oh yeah, thanks. I forgot about the video. So one thing to kind of set the stage with this is also to realize that when you start a business like this, sometimes you get paid. Sometimes you do things that you don't necessarily get paid a lot for. And as you build your team, then all of a sudden you're starting to get paid for what you do a little bit, you know, more. And then you hit a point where you start getting paid quite well for things that you're not even doing because you're creating the residual effect. And so we're going to play a little video with you. And this is basically when the trade towers was built. And it taught, and you'll see how long it takes. I want you to pay attention to how long it takes to just see the foundation of this building built. And then once the foundation is laid, how quickly it goes up. So this is a metaphor in terms of building our business and laying the foundation and doing the work. Because sometimes we do so much work and you say, oh, I'm not seeing the result. And people might get to a place where it's saying, oh, I don't know if it's worth it, I'm going to quit. But the fact is you've done all the work. You've laid the foundation. Now you just need to get in and have these conversations that I'm going to have with Debbie in just a moment. So let's go ahead and play this video. And it goes for just a short while. Hopefully the music will come through. The music might be a little choppy just because of Zoom, depending on your internet connection. But please just watch this video. It goes for a couple minutes, and then we'll move into the conversation.
And these buildings are the buildings that went in at ground zero after the rebuilding of the trade center.
Okay, wasn't that cool? And you could see how long it took for that foundation to be built.
Yeah.
Once the foundation was there, it just took off, and it just grew from there. So it is a great metaphor in building our business. So as we roll through this conversation, you can see that this is obviously a picture of a house, or the outline, the frame of a house.
Right.
And so the thing that is important to realize, Debbie, that is when, and I'm just going to use this frame as a part of a conversation that I want to have with you, because the foundation of anything is those questions that I had before. In other words, integrity, stability, and timing. So the things that were going through my heart to know before Melissa and I, for example, decided to jump into this and say, this is where we're gonna put our time and our effort. This is worthy of our time and our effort, is to know that the integrity of the company is real. And I just want to let you know that in the time that we've been involved with ASEA, that I am absolutely blown away by the integrity of Bertus Norton, Tyler Norton. This is a company that puts culture, their culture is second to none. They put principles above ego and economic motivations. And that's a rare thing, because the fact is we could have the best products in the world, but unless we have a combination of some other very important things, you really have nothing. The other thing is that stability. Now, some people would say that you want to get in at the ground floor, the pre-launch. And the fact is most companies never get up off the ground. In fact, statistically, it's kind of spooky to see how many companies don't make it. We are at a place where ASEA is rock solid. They've been profitable from the very beginning. In fact, they were no debt in the first 7 months. They were profitable in the very first year. And they've had year-on-year growth every single year. And the next thing that's important is this word timing. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, that really resonates, because we all want to be in a place where we know that the timing is good. And the question that was kind of rolling around, is it too early? Is it too late? We are at a place where we're moving into a momentum phase of our business. And as Eric Worre, who Deni so eloquently talked about, Eric Worre, he says that when a company hits momentum, that is the time to run, because your results are going to be that much more fruitful. And so we are really in a great place. So in terms of the foundation and our belief system, this is absolutely rock solid. We're on a very, very good foundation. Now, the next part that I wanted to let you know about is, you've got to have something to get into and to be a part of. And I want to let you know that we are absolutely committed. We've made a decision to run with this. We are taking it all the way. It's Presidential Triple Diamond and beyond. And so in the process, we're going to build a team. Okay. And the thing I love about network marketing is the way that you get ahead is by helping other people to succeed. And so, if you want to just click the next part of the slide, there we are. And so in the process of doing this, we're going to help some people. We'd love to work with you. Okay. If that's your goal, because the fact is we know that your time is very valuable. Your time is important. And the other side of that equation is our time's important too.
That's right.
And so we want to make sure that your time, the last thing that you want to do is to spend your time and your effort working with someone and pour your blood, sweat, and tears and everything, and then have someone throw in the towel. So I want to let you know that we're committed to be there for you, as long as we have a mutual commitment. So just making sure that we're on the same page. But the thing that I can tell you is that in the process of building something amazing, we can have a lot of fun, we can help a lot of people, and we can make a lot of money. Now, I want to let you know one other thing, too. We're doing it with or without you. And we'll always love you. Yeah. We'll appreciate you. We'll still be friends. And if it's, for whatever reason, not your cup of tea, that's cool. Yeah. But the idea is that we are going to build it, and I think we could do it together. We could have fun. But like I said, we're doing it with or without you. But the other thing is, so what I want to do next is just to find out if this is right for you or not. Mm-hmm. And excuse me, just 1 second.
Sorry.
Okay, so the next thing that we want to do is I want to ask you a question. Now, Debbie, I've got something kind of amazing now. I want you to play along. If you can see my magic wand here, it's got a nice little diamond on the top of it. If I want you, now this is going to sound maybe a little bit silly, maybe a little bit kind of kind of corny or whatever, but I want you to just imagine if you were 6 years old again and you were just dreaming, you were just playing. If I was to give you a magic wand, you've got your magic wand, and if ASEA was a vehicle that could create anything for you, for your family, for your kids, for your grandkids, if it was completely limitless, what would you want out of an ASEA business if this was a vehicle that could create anything for you?
Oh, I think I've reached farther now.
Yeah, and you might need to talk up just a little bit.
Big family holiday. Take all the family on a big cruise.
Okay.
And go on a big holiday. And something personal is to get a bigger boat.
Okay. Now, Debbie, just so you know, Debbie has you've got a successful chiropractic business. I've stayed in your home up in Vanderbilt. It's a beautiful home. So, in a way, she has a beautiful lifestyle and living the dream. But I love the scoreboard with ASEA because the more that we earn, it's just helping more people and expanding that vision. Yeah. So if you could create any kind of memories, any type of opportunities, because that's what it's about, it's memories. Yeah. And you've got how many grandkids now? 3. 3 grandkids. Yeah. Okay. And you've got
there's 10 of us all together.
10 of you all. Okay. Yeah. So so where would you go? Where would you like to go on a cruise? Take the whole family.
Oh, up to Whitsundays.
Whitsundays.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like to go too far out to sea.
Okay. And Steve has a fishing boat, but you'd like to maybe
a little bigger.
A little bigger fishing boat, and just be able to spend more time.
Yeah.
And let's say, for example, in fact, you had a little accident with a Segway here recently.
Yes.
So a Segway bumped Debbie off, or threw her off, bucked her off, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, bucked me off.
It really kind of messed her up. So in terms of if ASEA could create maybe more security, in fact, you were telling me from a
retirement point of view, ASEA is my retirement, long term.
Yeah.
So chiropractic might be shortened, and ASEA will be increased. Yeah.
So it gives you more options.
More options when your body wears out.
Okay.
I'm trying to heal my body with all my ASEA though.
Okay.
Yeah.
You love the idea of being able to travel, to create more security and more certainty.
Yeah.
So, I want to just tell you that absolutely everything you told me that you would want out of this, and the reality is, and so much more.
Yes, I know.
if you're willing, my question, if you're willing to do for 2 to 5 years what most people are not willing to do, you can have a lifestyle that most people only dream about. Now, my question for you, what I mean by that, let me just explain what I mean. What I mean is if you're willing to have a vision, which you just shared with me, and I know that you're all about helping people too. You love helping people, and you're not afraid of talking to people. So if you're willing to have a vision, if you're willing to share it with other people, help them to create a vision, which is what we've just kind of gone through, and follow up with people, you can have a lifestyle that most people only dream about, have that freedom that we've talked about, bigger boat, be able to travel and create those memories. So my big question is it worth it?
Yes.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, what we actually have here is a commitment, isn't it?
Right.
It's a commitment that we're committed to helping Debbie, and she's made a commitment to me or to us that we're going to work this together.
Yes.
And we've decided that it's worth it, because the thing is, you want to have a big enough vision, you want it to be long-term enough that that you're going to not just go talk with 2 people and have them say no and quit. And so this is a really important conversation. Even really the outline of this conversation when I'm talking with someone to begin with, I could say, we're involved with an incredible company with amazing products. It's really helping people, and the timing's phenomenal. And by the way, we've got a great team of people that we're working with. We're having fun. And if you've got some dreams, if you really wanted to do something amazing, this is a vehicle that can help to provide that. So even at a lower level, at an introductory level, this is an outline that I kind of have in my mind that I'm going through. But also it's a conversation that, just like Debbie and I have had right here, I'm really excited about what we're going to create, because I absolutely see you as a isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's cool.
This is from Dallas.
I guess.
And Melissa picked these up to make sure that we gave them to our key people that we're having this commitment conversation with. And so this is your pen.
Thank you.
And it's a symbolism of our commitment to this conversation.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Melissa.
Congratulations, Debbie.
Thank you.
You was absolutely a diamond and beyond, no doubts in our mind at all. And this exercise, just to let you know, you draw it out on a serviette. If you're with somebody, you can basically use it wherever you're at. And as Bart said, the key is really to commit to learning it. It'll be in the newsletter, so I'll have this presentation there. We will do another re-recording and put it on our website without the background noise. It's the joy of being in Vanuatu on a holiday. We're just glad that we're so glad that you've given a little bit of your holiday up to come and be with us today, Debbie, and congratulations on your decision, because I know that you have a beautiful future planned with all your desires, and you're absolutely going to get there, no doubts in our mind at all. So thank you very much. And just quickly, Bart, so when else can people use this exercise, and why is there believe, belong and become also on this diagram?
Yeah, so look, that is our motto, is believe, belong, and become. As when I say ours, it's a C is, and the belief system is that foundation. Okay, that's what we talked about. Belong, that's the team that we're part of, that we can get into. It's the belonging to a team. It's like I told Debbie, I said, look, we're committed to this, and we're committed to helping you, and we're going to work with you as long as we have a mutual commitment together. We belong together as a team, as an ASEA family, as an ASEA community, and specifically as a team, that we're focused on helping each other, because our goal is to reach to the next levels, and the way that we do that is by strategically identifying who we're going to focus our time with. And the reality is that we are there to support everybody, but your focus, time, and attention is something entirely different. And that's where we had a conversation with the Diamonds here yesterday that to achieve this contest, you need to bring so many people in. Well, the question is what next? How do we help move those people forward? And that's where you identify your leaders, where you're going to focus with. And then the become, that is the roof of this house. And that's a good question, because why do you put a roof on a house? Well, it's to weather you against the storms.
We got a rain out here.
Yeah, it just started raining here. Well, if we didn't have a roof, we wouldn't be in a good spot. Well, that roof is your dream. That dream is your why. And your why is, some people say have a why that's big enough to make you cry. And I went through this conversation with Kaz yesterday, actually, another member of our team, and she actually got, because her mom is in a place where she really wants her to have a better life, and you could just feel her heartstring that she went. I said, well, let's help your mom do that. This is a way to do that. So when you can help people find that heart soul level that they can connect with, and there's lots of ways you can do this. You can put a vision board together with your dreams and some of the things. I want you to get a picture of that boat, the boat that you want, the car that you want. Involve the senses. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What is it? And if you wanted to have a dream home or a second home, where would it be? What would it look like? What would that feel like? So this is all about pulling together the whole vision, and it also goes hand in hand with what ASEA's believe, belong, and become philosophy is. And so in terms of when we can use this conversation, I kind of mentioned this before, but literally in my mind, this outline is a conversation that I'm following this outline in my mind, even from a prospecting standpoint or on a three-way phone call as being the expert. I'm going to kind of let them know this same kind of format. We're within a great company with amazing products, stable. We've got a great team in place, and there's a chance to, there's an opportunity that's fantastic where you can realize your dreams. And then, of course, the higher level conversation is exactly what we've just gone through. And by the way, Melissa, you might want to share your results with this, because we did this early on, and this was a very important conversation that I've used going way back, and with another company that I've worked for very successfully as well.
That's right. So I still have the laminated menu that you wrote this on the back of 18 years ago for me, and implemented it straight away into the team. And the key there that Bart mentioned that's important is it's a framework. It's easy to really be able to commit these points to memory, and so it builds confidence. So when you're with a new associate, when you're with an existing associate who may have lost their way, who may have forgotten their why, this is a brilliant way of coming back around and locking in their why. The magic wand can be a pen. We've actually got wands as well. So it's a matter of really having this succinct conversation, it helps you so much to bring in associates who have direction for you to be able to help hold them accountable, particularly when times get rough and the roller coaster ride comes in, reminding them of their vision and helping them to stay committed to that and really tying it into ASEA's ethos of the Believe, Belong, Becomes. It's everything right here. Absolutely works and builds momentum. So, and we use it in our team now as well. It's a matter of really resurrecting it and getting it out there again for all your benefit, because it's an extremely effective tool. So enjoy it. All details will be in the upcoming newsletter on Monday, and we will do a re-recording of the webinar so that you know how it's done.
Yeah, look, I just want to mention one of the things. I just want to mention one other thing too on this. When you do this, you know, the magic wand, I know it sounds a little bit silly, but if you just tell people, say, look, this might seem a little silly, but I want you to play along with me. I want you to just be a kid with me. I want you to just pretend and dream like you're 6 years old again and just have a little bit of fun. I just want to run through a fun exercise. And so you're just making it a little bit light. And if you do that, then it kind of takes anything that you might feel apprehensive or a little uncomfortable about, but just say, hey, let's just have some fun with this. And so we've even got these little sticks with little sparkly things in them and handed them to them. But the fact is, even if I don't have that, and before, when Debbie and I were just kind of talking about this, I said, if this were a magic wand, you could give them a pen or a pencil. It doesn't really matter, but give them something that they can actually put their dreams into this little, it's like saying if they had just won the lottery, if they had just, if they had a genie lamp with an unlimited number of wishes, what would they wish for? What would you actually want? And because you want to have your dream, you want to create your dream and help people to dream. People have forgotten how to dream because our dreams, so many people have been just kicked in the head so many times that they just are afraid to dream anymore. And I can tell you that you can dare to dream big with ASEA. In fact, the bigger your vision is, the easier it is for other people to become part of it. Don't think small, think big, because you will inspire other people. And if you have a very small vision, you're not going to have a whole lot of room to inspire other people. So think big and have a dream and help them to create it as well.
Thank you, Dr. Debbie. Thank you so much. And thank you. Sorry, you're muted. And thank you, Bart, for sharing your wisdom and your tool with all of us. Yeah, go and enjoy the rest of your time in Vanuatu, because I know you've only got 24 hours or less left, so go and make the most of it. And congratulations again on your success and on being there as well. So,
going bronze.
Yeah, and diamond.
And diamond, that's right. Thank you so much, Bart. What we're going to do, it's important just to let you know what's coming up and a couple of the other incentives that you just need to keep in mind. I'm going to run through it fairly quickly so we can finish up the webinar. But I just wanted to let you know we've had a lot of phenomenal feedback on these introduction sheets, the TBG intro sheets that we launched last month's webinar. I've gone to Officeworks and I've had it put in like a tear out off pad. And so that's with me. It works really, really, really well. Phenomenal feedback from all around the world as to how effective this is. A simple tool to have all the information in the one place. I have put the time together to do up a script for people who are not sure what some of this may mean. I'm letting you know now it is an in-depth script. It's like 20 pages long, but it's got the visuals in it that take up a bit of space as well. So that will go out on Monday in the newsletter. So for anyone that's not sure, please reference that. Obviously, the key is to put it in your own words. Same as the Bart Kotter close, lock in the commitment agreement, that you've got to be authentic. You've got to put it in your own words and be genuinely you. So that's a reminder there. The ASEA Diamond Field Run promotion. We're pulling the reports to let you know who has won the categories for October as well, and we'll get the November out in terms of the winners. First place through to fifth place, which is essentially equates to free products. So there's 3 categories. If some of you don't know about this, it's in the Team Builders Global newsletters. That's the TBG is shortened for Team Builders Global, for those of you who may not know. And all the information's right there. So, yep, we've got all the positions, and you can claim your free product after January when the 3 months of the auto ship on ASEA Via has elapsed. We're getting phenomenal testimonials coming in, and as Deni said, be sure to join the ASEA Via Nutritionals Facebook page so you can really help to build your belief and find really unique testimonial stories that may help you in your journey when you cross people with your ASEA business. So here, yet again, is the second page. I'm not going to run through it, but it lists, this is an Australian New Zealand promotion only. So there's a frequently asked questions document stored in Genie. All the information you need is also in our newsletters, as I mentioned. So there's a way of being able to get to that. And there's the click here button that runs you through what's included. So yet again, as a reminder, the Australian packs. Bart is one of the best people I have ever seen that starts people off with entrepreneur packs. I've never seen anyone do it better than Bart. He's a master at it. It's a matter of letting people know that there are options, leveraging these packs to your advantage and setting people up for success right from day one in their business. They need to be on at least a 3-month period on these products so that they can notice the significant results, what these molecules and these nutritionals are doing in their body. And also, of course, the Redox skincare line. So that just goes to show that there's more loyalty points, the bigger the packs, and the loyalty points are fantastic because we get the free product, which we love to send to people all around the world as well. So yet again, the USA packs are listed here as well. All enrollment packs are in your ASEA virtual office library. So yet the loyalty reward points, just to summarize this for you right now. So you can earn them for the Fast Forward Plus promotions, and on your ASEA via initial order for Australia and New Zealand as well. You earn loyalty reward points they grow with time with auto ship. Your enrollment packs, as I just pointed out, have loyalty reward points attached to them. And your first auto ship also gets a bonus when it comes to these loyalty reward points. So it's a lot of fun, and all the information on how to redeem your points and is in your virtual office as well. Okay, so let's run through upcoming events. This Wednesday we have Diamond Sep Hock from Australia featuring in the Expert in the House webinar. This is not a good time zone for North America. You have your own Expert in the House webinars up there. You can get information from ateamsupport.com. Sep will be featuring in his inaugural Expert in the House webinar, one time only, 7:30 p.m. Queensland. Of course, there's the other time zones listed, advancinglifeintro.com. All information is listed in our Team Builders Global newsletter. There's no Expert in the House webinars in January. Most of you know Australia shuts down in January, so everybody's going and having fun and doing their own thing. You can access past recordings, and Christina Sword is brilliant. She featured last Wednesday. Her recording's already up on the redoxdiamonds.com website. I receive information from people in North America wanting the recordings for the Australian diamonds. Yet again, it's on this website. It's all listed there. Along with the February, Bart, is that correct? The February Envision videos and recordings, I believe it's on that site as well. I'll get a correction by the end of the webinar.
That is correct. There's a playlist from the previous speeches from the Envision, and there's some very good content. I'd suggest logging in to redoxdiamonds.com and listening to Tyler Norton's presentation on that for sure.
It's absolutely brilliant. So Christina Sword and Lorene Bavart, both diamonds, are featuring on Wednesday the 5th in Carnegie in Melbourne. Here's a link, take a screenshot. It's also in our Team Builders Global newsletters on the details of how to get to that event, send your team to that event. Trish and Bob Schwenkler are featuring in Clearwater, Florida on Wednesday the 11th. There's the Eventbrite link down below, 11seminar.eventbrite.com. So make sure you have tickets. There is absolutely limited seating at this venue, so be sure to get your tickets and be at that event. It's not every day you get to have Bob and Trish come to your area, so enjoy. No Team Builders Global Leadership webinar in January. We kick it off in February. Here are the dates. I'll have this in every single newsletter, but take a screenshot if you'd like. These are the dates for the webinars we'll be featuring next year. We are so blessed to have had Deni Robinson feature with us today, because we get big speakers on each month, and Deni is an absolute powerhouse and inspiration, and we're so grateful that she was able to join us today. You'll hear from her again next year as well. So Nicole Dennis has put a lot of time into developing the Redox shop for our benefit. So this is a phenomenal beginning when it comes to the booklets and the following book that you can actually access in Australia New Zealand, so it's online. It's called the redoxshop.com. It's for our benefit. These booklets, ways to use redox gels, would you like to, redox experiences, are top quality. They've been created. They look amazing. And Dr. Gary Samuelson, The Science of Healing Revealed. Yes, we do have it now. It can ship from Australia, and that's the website to go to get that from. So lucky us. Thank you to everybody who put this process together for all our benefit. Okay, Envision event, 15th and 16th of February on the Gold Coast, and our Diamond Peak Performance Training event for all your benefit the following Sunday on the 17th. Now, Deni mentioned the power of these big events, getting people to big events. The tickets go up on January 9th to $129 US. Pay the $99 US now. Don't wait till it goes up, so our exchange rate's not the best. And these corporate run events usually are in US dollars. So ASEAEvents.com, Friday 15th, Tyler Norton, ASEA's founder, will be featuring for half a day on the Envision event for that day. It is absolutely not to be missed event. There'll be a full day corporate event on the Saturday. And then we have Dr. Darren Weissman, who's a chiropractor, featuring as our guest speaker on Sunday. Tickets until January 31st to $70 Australian at this time. So absolutely phenomenal to have Dr. Darren Weissman join us. It is a brilliant event. So just to keep you posted, the regionals, the Diamond Regionals, will be featuring Brisbane, Melbourne, Perth and Adelaide, May 25th. We're still in the process of lining up venues. All details will be released in the newsletter. June, we have Sydney locked in at the Ride Eastwood Leagues Club. All field run promotions and I should say events. All tickets are from ASEAEvents.eventbrite.com.au. Yet again, it's in all our newsletters. June, of course, lots of people are running for the Cancun incentive that Deni mentioned. And I know a lot of people in Cancun are also planning to be in Mexico. It's from bronze, platinum and new diamonds. So get the information from your virtual office on Ascent. In September, of course, be at the International Convention. Tickets go on sale again January 1st, the $299 per person US. We've already booked our accommodation, so get everything squared away to make sure that you can be there at that big event. We're doing a post-convention Zoom webinar online on September 21st to bring all the information back from convention to all of you. We'll be featuring upline diamond leaders and head office guests as well. This is all about marking your calendar ahead of time to make sure that you can prepare for what's ahead. Obviously, it'll fill in more next year with more upcoming events, but just keep these on your radar and plan for them with your 2019 12-month plan. So, of course, there is the fantastic Diamond Summit. This is the Ambassador Diamonds and above. This is the extension program first at the Four Seasons Resort in Oahu in Hawaii. So that'll be an amazing event. And many of you will be at the Grand Wailea Resort in Hawaii with us in Maui as well. So this is a very achievable. Go to ASEAEvents.com/Diamond Summit to get more information on how you can achieve according to the new point system being at these incentives. November, we have another Diamond Regional event across these cities in Australia. And Ride Eastwood Leagues Club's been locked in already for November 9th. So that's just to let you know. So yet again, all field run tickets at seaevents.eventbrite.com.au. Mark that website as a favourite so you can easily go back and find it. And all corporate run events, ASEAEvents.com. That's how you get the tickets for the events that I've just run through. Now, for those of you who are curious about how to subscribe to the newsletter, if you're not already, our TBG.subscribe me now is how you get access to all this information. And we want to thank you, all of you, for staying on the line. I know it's been another long webinar today. I wouldn't cut out a minute of time with Deni Robinson for anything. It's been such an honour to be able to feature Deni and hear from her today, as well as to hear from Bart, Dr. Debbie Ball, and of course, Ambassador Diamond Mousesword as well. So look forward to seeing you on the 2nd of February. We'll certainly get an amazing lineup of superstars for our team calls next year. Open to your feedback at any time. Just wanted to thank you again. Wish you all a happy holidays, Merry Christmas. It's hard to believe that I'm saying that already, but yes, it's December in Australia and in the Southern Hemisphere. So any final parting words from you, Bart? Thank you so much, everybody, for a wonderful year.
No, I'd just like to just thank everybody for taking the time to join the webinar. Deni, thank you again. If you're still there, I'm not sure if you're there or not, but thanks for joining us on the call today. It was absolutely fantastic to have you on. And it's been a lot of fun.
Every second. What a call. Thank you.
Thank you, Deni. Again, make sure that your team gets the news for our newsletters, because you got to stay at the spout where the information is coming out, as our sponsor says, Ed Wings. And so, let's see, our TBG. What's the subscription? Let's see. Subscribe me now. Help me out, babe.
Yeah, let me just bring it up again, because there's a couple. Our TBG subscribe me now.
There we are.
Yeah.
Just going to type it in, but make sure that your teams get on that, because I'm talking with a lot of people and they're not getting plugged in. So we can only get this information to them if they're plugged into the calls and information in the newsletters. So definitely get the news out. We'll keep you informed. That's important to us to support you. So all the best. Let's wrap up this year with a bang and kick off 2019. Make 2019 our best year, your best year ever. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, everybody, and please support the December events all around the world. So thank you. Have a great time in Vanuatu and a fabulous weekend. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.